Hello and welcome to my channel, Living Petrone. For those of you who are new here, thank you. I appreciate you being here. And for those who have been here before, again, thank you for coming back. I appreciate the support, even though there's not a lot of you yet, if not many at all. But hopefully I'm looking to build upon that in the future. So part of this channel, is what I wanted to do with it was to hold myself accountable. So that's kind of the point of this video. So we're going to talk about holding myself accountable. So we're going to do, there'll be some footage of a weigh-in that I'm going to do. And then there'll also be, some body footage so that I can have an idea of kind of what I look like at that point in time. And then probably going forward, I'm going to try to do something like that every month where I could do like a weigh-in and then like a body, like, where you just shoot yourself, and go in like a 360 or something like that so that I can see myself and see the progression. This way I can kind of track that portion of what I'm doing just outside of the working out aspect and having those videos to go back and track. Also, part of what I wanted to do here today was kind of go over some goals that I wanted to do for this year. I was going to say something like a New Year's resolution. However, we're a little bit past New Year's as I'm filming this now, so it's a little bit late for a New Year's resolution, but we'll just talk about overall we're going to talk about fitness goals for this year, and then, I'll throw in some personal stuff that I wanted to accomplish as well. So I guess starting on the fitness side of things, I think the overall thing that I really want to achieve this year is actually hitting my weight loss goal. I would say it's really the big one that I'm kind of after here is getting to the number that I want to be at. And the number that I want to be at is 195. So when I started this journey, I wanted to get to 200, and then I kind of brought that back down to 195 based on some of the progress that I'm making. I've been that weight before in my life. I feel comfortable at that weight. I feel reasonably comfortable too at 200. But 195 is really that weight where I really want to be at this year. So we can cut to the footage now of the where you see me weigh myself on the scale, and then you'll see me do like a 360 kind of walk around to show some body, what my current body state looks like. So now that you're back from, seeing where I'm starting at, well, it wouldn't be necessarily where I'm starting at, but for the sake of this video is, where we're going to start off at this year, at this point in my fitness journey. So this way we, like I said, have a documentation of, where we are and where we want to go. So like I said, we can check in hopefully with this every month, but let's get into the goals for this year. Again, the number one goal that I wanted to hit, which is what I already said, was I want to be at that 195. Now, so that's the big overall goal, like I said. Now, from a working out standpoint, what I really wanted to achieve this year is the number one thing is to stay consistent. So being able to come in here, do the workouts, put in the work, and keep coming. That's going to be the number one thing. I think that's one of the things that I preach the most is being able to come in here and do your workouts. Now, again, I have my own structure of how that looks. That's not going to look the same for everybody, but that is how it looks for me. So like I said, coming in, doing my workouts, doing my rotation, I have my days off, but coming back to my rotations. So that's going to be number one. As far as in the workout, some of the things that I wanted to really work on for this year is being able to not get as distracted. I knew that seems silly, but being able to not get distracted as much while I work out. It's very easy for me to pick up my phone, look at my phone, you know, check other things, look at other stuff that I'm doing, you know, look at YouTube, you know, look at anything on the internet. It doesn't matter. I have a real habit with that, especially as I start to get further into my workout and start to get more fatigued. I tend to pick up that phone more and look for a distraction to keep my mind off of working out, and then that just kind of spirals downhill. So, which that's going to feed into my second goal, which is making sure that I stick within my rest period time. Like I usually do set a timer for rest periods. The only time I come out of that is a little bit when I'm doing squats and stuff. I'll wait till I've kind of regained my breath some, and then I'll start my timer. But those are two of the big ones during when I'm working out that I really wanted to focus on as far as prioritizing in my actual workouts. I think those are important, and maybe even possibly, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, but possibly bring the rest period down a little bit. My rest period's a little bit higher than maybe some people's. That's just that's a personal thing. I think I take about 1:40 between sets. That's a lot for some people. I kind of have the time to do that, so I use that. But I'm also doing, I tend to do a little bit more reps, and not so much reps, but I have a lot more time under tension. So I use that little extra recovery. It does contribute to making my workouts longer, and that's, you know, maybe that's the overall goal, is trying to bring that time in the gym down some would be good without having to really sacrifice any exercises. I'm going to say that those are going to be my main fitness goals for this coming year of what I really wanted to work on. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm going to say those are the big ones that I'm really after. You know, from there, it's really just about, I always kind of look at I just want to make sure that some of the other stuff in the gym is making sure that I'm focusing on the right exercises, and, you know, anything that I don't think that belongs in my routine, to kind of remove it or change it with a different exercise. So the lagging muscle groups that I wanted to work on for this year are going to continue. I've talked about them in the past, is, you know, hamstrings and glutes are going to be really my most lagging muscle groups that I really wanted to work on in this year, which is something I've already started to do or started to implement. So I'm going to continue that forward. And then, as thinking about it more recently, I really wanted to work on my back. You know, my back seems to lag behind. My legs are doing okay. You know, a lot of the other muscle groups are doing pretty good. My legs, I don't think, are ever going to get big. I just talked about that in a video recently. They tend to be a little bit thinner. You know, that's just genetics. There's nothing I can do about it. I also don't have a huge amount of weight to where I could really kind of bulk them up at this point. So we will see how that moves in the future, but they have an okay amount of definition. So, you know, I've really tried to work on those. I think that's going to sum up the working out and the fitness thing. Obviously, like I said in the beginning, is the main goal is to continue on. And that's always going to be the goal, because that's the hardest part about it, is always coming to the gym. At least for me, is coming to the gym and making sure I do the work. You know, and I guess maybe I should piggyback up on some of that. What I just said is that really watching my cheat days. I guess we'll throw that in there as, I guess, a bonus, is what the next part of it that I need to work on is making sure that I don't get carried away with my cheat days. You know, that's something I had already implemented, but I guess I hadn't talked about it. So I guess I'll talk about it here. Is I'm trying to make more of my own food in cheat days, and, you know, make some more of my own snacks and cookies and cheesecake or whatever it might be that I want to eat, pies, you know, instead of buying as much. So this way I can control the ingredients a little bit better. So that was one thing I had already started working on. So I guess, you know, now I'm putting it and documenting that's what I was doing. But really where I was going with it was that making sure that my time that I like to have off is about 5 days. And I've been getting away from that, which means that I'm working out less. So that is something I guess I will put in there as a bonus to say we really need to, which is probably supersedes a lot of other things, but I just remembered it as I was talking. Sorry. That's just how it goes sometimes. I'm doing this a little bit off of the cuff. I don't have this scripted. So But we'll put that in there as making sure that I stick and hold myself accountable to those cheat days. And after, 5 to 6 days, making sure that I'm back in the gym. Let's move on to some personal goals that I wanted to hit. Now, these aren't as, this is more kind of, I guess this is more of a lifestyle. I wouldn't say lifestyle, but more of a blog and documentation channel for me, and a way to kind of talk and, be able to look back and see what I'm doing with myself. So I will say personally, on a personal level, one of the things that I really wanted to do this year, or finish up this year, we'll say, because I've already started the process, is really to finish my teeth. I've already talked about it some in some of the other videos. I've done root canals. I've been having teeth work done. So I'm currently in the process of fixing my teeth. I had a long period of time where I didn't go to the dentist, and I'm kind of paying for it now. Not as bad as some other people would pay for it, but I'm really trying to get my teeth fixed. So I'm almost close to completion as far as getting them fixed with, root canals and any cavities that I have 2 crowns that I need to do, and that once I get those done, that should be it. And then I should be able to have a kind of they'll need to go back and have a check at my teeth to make sure things are coming along, because the overall goal is to have my teeth straightened. As you can see, as I'm talking in certain videos, is my teeth are not straight. And that comes from, when I was younger and then playing hockey, they got moved around a bit. I never lost any teeth, so I was lucky in that aspect, but they definitely, my front teeth got moved around, and my bottom teeth aren't as bad, but they got moved a little bit. My front teeth took the worst of it. So, but being able to continue down that path to get to a point this year where I can get hopefully clear liners, because that's something that I'd like to do. Because once you get clear liners, it's going to probably take me a year. I think it's probably going to take me 2 years to do it. My bottoms probably won't take as long, but it's going to take a little bit of time. I just have to make sure that I had to do all this pre-work essentially before I can get liners. So that's a big one for me, because I've put in a lot of work into that. So continuing that and finishing that so that we can get to liners and hopefully get my teeth straightened. So that was a big one for me personally. The next one, another medical one, would be continuing on what I'm doing medically, trying to, follow doctor's advice, trying to get my right side of my body better, and really kind of figure that out. I've really struggled with that. I have some hip issues that I've dealt with. I have some back issues that I've dealt with. So trying to go through that and kind of work the process has been a little bit laborious, and, can be frustrating at times. I've had MRIs, CT scans. I've had, doctors, orthopedists and stuff look at it. So, but I've managed to come to the gym and I will say that for me, it has helped a lot. Having the extra muscle, doing the work to come into the gym and really trying to work these muscle groups has really helped take some of the pressure and some of the pain that I've been in, and really kind of help mitigate it. It's not great, but it's better than it used to be. So definitely that weight coming off of me, I think, has helped tremendously. So, and then just kind of getting your body moving, movement is really important. So I find that has really helped me. So, obviously, again, for this year, following and kind of keeping track and going with what my, kind of doctors would want me to do. The next step is getting to some physical therapy. I know they want me to go to physical therapy and have them take a look at me and probably do some corrective exercises or something of that nature. We'll see. I haven't made that appointment yet, but it is on my list to do this year. So I really want to get over there and see what they have to say and see if it's something that can help me. Because I'm all for looking at, different ways, or, look different opinions and seeing how something can help me. So that would be very important for me. Personal level for, I want to continue doing the YouTube thing, basically just documenting everything that I'm doing here. I think, that's kind of the saddest part for me, is I'm not really great at this, the camera stuff. Like I struggle to kind of, I'm getting used to kind of trying to talk to the camera and, really put myself out there. I'm more of an introverted person. This is not a comfortable ground for me. Doing the body composition stuff where you're kind of looking at yourself and, really, you're really seeing it. And, it's sometimes, as someone who struggles with that, is not comfortable in their skin, it's hard to have that footage and look at it and, have to kind of, you really have to, you see it. And it's, I guess maybe it becomes more real. It's it's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't explain it. But it just becomes very real. And, it's hard for someone like me to get comfortable in this process. So, I want to continue doing this. I want to continue documenting it. I know I'm a little bit slow at uploading videos. It's not because, I'm taking my time. It's not because I don't want to do it. It's because it takes me a little bit of time. I'm having to learn the skills about how to edit video and make things and, make thumbnails and all that stuff. So I'm getting better at it. And then, it's going to take me some time doing this camera work and talking to you, the camera, to really get comfortable with it, because it's outside of my comfort zone. And I think that's always good for people, to kind of step outside their comfort zone a little bit. I mean, I'm not sure who's seeing this. Maybe somebody can relate and it helps them as well. I know it's probably helping me some. So it's kind of new for me. So we'll see kind of what happens in the future. But that's a big one for me personally as well, is to just kind of continue on this journey, keep documenting it, because I want to have the record. I wish I had the record from when I started. I think a lot of people always, you always see those videos on YouTube where people are kind of like, they do their whole journey and stuff like that. I don't have all that, because for someone like me, when you documenting like that, it makes it more real. And I try to think about more where I want to end up and not so much the process. So I don't really want to see myself in the being overweight or how you look. I'm very uncomfortable with it. So maybe, like I said, again, someone can relate, but I get more comfortable with it as my body while I become more comfortable in my own body. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, a big one for me is to continue down the journey, be able to film these videos, and hopefully, maybe build an audience and, help some people out along the way. Whether it helps them or not, remains to be seen. But, that's part of the whole platform. And I've kind of actually enjoyed doing this so far. It makes it a little bit more interesting while I'm working out, because sometimes it gets boring when you're working out, but those are going to be, off the top of my head and, kind of thinking about it the last couple of days, those are going to be the big personal goals for me, is some of the medical stuff, obviously continuing the journey, documenting what we're doing here, and then obviously getting more comfortable while I'm doing these things. So that's going to be it for me, for the wrap up for, what our goals are for this year and what we're trying to work towards. I hope you enjoyed a video like this. This is a little bit different than what I normally do, but like I said, I think we're going to do something like this every month. Maybe, it's not going to be this long. It's more or less going to be a check-in, because I'm not going to have the year's goals. It's more or less going to be a sit down and check in and see where the progress is and do a weigh-in. But like I said, I've enjoyed kind of making this video here. It's been a little bit different for me. It's actually a little bit easier than some of the other ones that I do. So I've enjoyed it. Again, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you guys. I hope you guys come back to my channel. Hopefully you find some of the information helpful, and I will see you guys for the next video.